Okay, make some butter pecan ice cream. We're gonna do a half batch because it's pretty full. So a regular batch asks for 1 cup of pecans, so I'm just gonna do maybe 3/4 of a cup for a half batch. Make a little bit extra pecans. And chop this up. You don't want to chop it up too much, but that's good right there. That might actually be 1 cup, but about 3/4 of a cup or 1 cup for a half batch is good. Extra pecans. Okay, so I gotta cook and toast the pecans in butter. Full batch is 1 stick of butter, so half a stick is what we're doing for the half batch. Now it says to do it on low, but I got it on medium low, number 2. Cooks a little faster that way. Just want to melt all this butter first. Okay, the butter's pretty much melted. Go ahead and pour in the pecans. And you want to toast these. The white parts, when you chop it up, you see the white parts on the inside of the pecans. When that starts to turn brown, then that's when they're ready. If you let them just sit in here, the butter will start bubbling and the oils in the pecan will start bubbling and everything, and you'll know that they're toasting when it does that. It's starting to sizzle and bubble now. Now you're just waiting for that white part to turn brown. Not too dark brown, just enough where you know it's toasted. Smells really good too. You can see all the bubbles getting really big. It's like really foamy looking, covering all the pecans, that butter and pecan oil, all bubbling up. Oh, I forgot, I'm gonna add it in now. It's supposed to be, for a half batch, is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So that's just like a couple pinches of salt. Forgot to add that in. That's supposed to go in right when you put the pecans in. So stir that up a little bit. Little bit of salt. Okay, it's all done. Butter's pretty brown. You'll see the pecans. I don't know if you can see that, but the white part's all brown now. You don't want to cook it too much because then they might burn. So just when they just start turning brown. Okay, now you got to separate the butter from the pecans. So we got this, I think it's called the sieve. It's like a strainer. Put that over a glass bowl. You don't want to put the hot butter in a plastic bowl. Metal bowl might work, but the metal bowl get really hot. So I always use a glass one. And I use a spatula so I get all that butter out because that's going in the ice cream base. Shake it around a little bit. I'm gonna let that cool off a little bit and I'm gonna put it back in that bowl. Okay, so we got 1 egg in the bowl because we're doing a half batch, and the sugar is supposed to be 3/4 cup for a full batch. So this is 1.5 quarters. I just use one of those 1/4 measuring spoons, 1/4 cup measuring spoons, and do 1 full one and half of one. And that's what should be in there. So again, I gotta beat the egg. This still gets bubbly and kind of pale yellow. And add the sugar a little bit at a time. Always tilt the bowl so it gets kind of like a little puddle. You don't have to move the mixer around as much. This still gets pretty thick, like a thick cake batter. Alright, that's it. Okay, now I need to add the cream and the milk. So it's going to be 1 cup of heavy cream. Should be what's left after making the coffee ice cream yesterday. It's just short of about 1 cup, so just add a little extra milk. So it's supposed to be 1 cup of cream and half a cup of milk, so just add enough milk to where it goes up to 1.5. Then I need a whisk. Add that into the egg and sugar. Mix that up. Now, after that's stirred a little bit, you're gonna add that butter that you drained when you drain the pecans. All that stuff that's on the bottom too. Use a spatula to get all that in there. It's gonna give a lot of flavor. And then mix that up. Okay, time to get the ice cream made. So you need to get that little ball out of the freezer. It used to be frozen. That froze for about a day, about a whole day. And everything goes in the ice cream bowl. Only fills it up about halfway. Put in the little thingy here like that. Turn it on, and then 20 minutes. Actually do about 17 minutes. Do 17 minutes because you got to add the pecans just till like right before it's about to be done, like a few minutes before it's done. You're supposed to add the pecans in, so just do 17 minutes to see how it looks. Okay, it's been pretty much 17 minutes. It's still not all the way frozen. You see when it drops off the spoon, it's still a little bit wet. That's about when you want to put it in. Put in the pecans. And then let that churn for about 2 or 3 more minutes to come back and check on it. Okay, there's been a couple more minutes. The ice cream stopped moving. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty much done. You could push it down and let it churn a little bit more if you want. I'm gonna do that for about a couple more minutes because it's still kind of not all the way frozen. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show her off. Came out pretty good. This is why I do a half batch. This is pretty much going to fill up that quart container. But a little bit extra pecans. Get my quart container. It's important. Try to get the ice cream to get as cold as possible and solidify. If it's too wet, like if it's melted ice cream and it's too wet and then you freeze it, it'll get like little ice crystals in it. It'll be crunchy ice cream from ice crystals. It won't be smooth and creamy. Yeah, this batch came out pretty good. A little bit extra milk than normal, a little bit less cream, but it still came out good. Yeah, it's just shy of 1 quart. Better than having too much though. And that's it.